Hello, friends. This is Kartik Pandit here again. And this time, I'm bringing to you uh, some tips for Indians who prefer to go to with their children to Disneyland, Hong Kong. Now, it's a good attraction. It is one of the smallest Disneylands in the family of Disneylands, which is spread across various countries. The biggest one, of course, is in the US. So you got to fly into Chicago, into Hong Kong, and the Disneyland is it's about 25 kilometers away from the Hong Kong airport. You have an option to go by bus to the common station that is there, up to which the public transport is available, or you could take a taxi. A taxi would roughly cost you about 125 to 130 Hong Kong dollars. Converted at a rough rate of 10 rupees, it's 1250 to 1400 rupees. I would strongly recommend. Now, here are some 5 tips which are strongly recommended especially for Indian tourists who want to enjoy the Disneyland to the fullest. Tip number 1. It would be advisable to take a taxi from Hong Kong airport and stay at one of the Disneyland hotels, which are in the Disneyland area. We stayed in a hotel which is known as Disneyland Lodge. It was a huge hotel with more than 700-800 rooms. Very good rooms, huge rooms, very spacious, 3-4 restaurants facing the sea, good garden, excellent place. So, tip number 1, you're recommended to stay at one of the hotels. The third one, Disneyland Hollywood, is coming up. So one of the 2 hotels which are associated with Disneyland. Now this hotel, booking can be done online, and they also sell tickets for entry. Tip number 2, from this hotel, they have a shuttle service which takes you to Disneyland. So you need not think of any taxi to take you to Disneyland. Tip number 3. Big question, whether you should take ticket for one day or 2 days or more. In my view, it is advisable to take entry ticket for 1 day, reach early in the morning, take a break in the afternoon, and again go back in the evening. Now let me explain this in more detail. Since the locals, the hotel shuttle service takes you to Disneyland, from which you walk for about 500 meters when you enter. If you desire to come out of the Disneyland, they have a very simple procedure. They will take your picture, and based on that picture, they will let you in second time. Why should you take a break in the afternoon? Because for the simple reason that there are many rides that you want to take advantage of. Plus, it's a huge place, so there's a lot of walking. Plus, the evening light show, sound and light show, which is at 8:30, is worth seeing. It may be a long day if you choose to stay the whole day in Disneyland. So therefore, it may be a good idea, but to go early morning, enjoy the rides till afternoon, take a break, because the shuttle will take you back to your hotel, come back through the shuttle in evening time, enjoy some rides, and enjoy the sound and light show. We did that. Now, food issue, especially for Indians and vegetarians. There are many restaurants within Disneyland, but there is hardly any veg food available. You may have to rely on some coffee and some croissants and some French fries. Beyond that, you may not find any food. So if you go back to your hotel, you may be able to make some arrangement for your food in the restaurant, take some rest, and come back in the evening. Point number 3. Do you need to go take ticket for 1 day or 2 days? I feel 1 day is more than enough to enjoy all the rides in the Disneyland. Point number 4. there are at least 7 to 10 rides which are on a paid basis, and each ride will cost you $79, and there is a waiting at each ride. So you'll have to choose which rides you would want to uh, pay for. Now there are tickets available for express entry. Is it advisable to take those tickets for express entry? Well, it depends upon the day on which you land there. If you go on a weekend, you would encounter a lot of crowds. But on a normal day, I would assume that there would not be so much of crowds. And therefore, the express entry ticket may not be worth spending your hard-earned money. The evening show, which is at 8:30, which is at the Circle, where the castle is built, and they have a superb half-an-hour sound and light show. In no case, you should miss this. People gather at least 1 hour in advance, occupying vintage position to see this show. And I think it is worth your while. There are some benches available where you could relax, but you'll have to wait for at least an hour or two to be able to use those benches, or you may have to squat on the floor or just stand. Is it wheelchair accessible? Yes. Is it good for senior citizens? Well, you should be prepared to walk at least 10 to 15,000 steps, which is about 10 to 12 kilometers. So physical fitness is of importance. Is it good for kids? I think it is an excellent place. If your kids have not been to Disneyland, this is the place. I found that there were hardly any Indians there. Leave aside Indians, there were hardly any foreigners other than locals, which means Hong Kong guys, they all look alike, Hong Kong Chinese attire. So I didn't find any Indians, or very few Indians there. Last question, is it the hotel in Disneyland? I think the hotel, if you're staying in Hong Kong, and I'm sure you would stay more than a day at Hong Kong, I would recommend that you stay at this Disneyland hotels, the two of them, which are very good. Comparatively, they are well priced, and they have very good connection. Now, incidentally, Disneyland has its own metro. It takes you through the metro. Of course, it is a paid ticket that you need to buy to the nearest metro station, from which you get into the metro service. But also, city bus services are available, which can take you to the into the network of Hong Kong. Now, what is the travel time from Disneyland to Hong Kong proper? If you go by this shuttle service, then the metro, then the Disneyland private metro, and then into the network, it will take about 45 to 50 minutes. If you were to go by bus, it will take the same amount. So, if you're ready to travel by a local public transport, it may be a good idea to stay in the Disneyland hotels. For us, this was an afterthought, because after we had finished Disneyland, we stayed in Hong Kong, and we realized that that was not a very correct decision, because we had to move our luggage twice, and therefore I had to spend on taxi, because we Indians tend to travel heavy. So the last advice, if you are traveling to Disneyland, travel light. Travel light in such a way that you can travel by public transport, and you can have a bag which is like your cabin bag. And that would be just right thing to do. So I'm wishing all my friends, colleagues, Indians who want to take their children to Disneyland, that it is something worth going for children up to maybe 7 or 8, or maybe maximum 9, and plan for a day and stay at a hotel of Disneyland, which are 2 as of now, and 3rd is WIP, work in progress. I hope this helps. Thank you, and bye for now.